Hi everyone, this is your art teacher, Miss Dressel, and today we are going to start a new project using Scratch. So to get started, we are going to go to the Chrome browser, and in the URL bar, we are going to type scratch.mit.edu. When the page loads, we're going to go to the top right-hand corner and we're going to click Join Scratch. So today, our goal is to create a username and password, get our account activated, and I want you to add your username to the post in the stream on our Google Classroom, and then I want you to follow some of the other accounts so that it's getting our page up and running. We're going to use the most out of Scratch by following accounts that we are friends with and finding some accounts that we might be interested in their theme to follow. So while we are deciding how to join Scratch, some of you might be thinking, Ms. Dressel, when we were in digital art, I have a CS First username and password that I use to log into Scratch. I don't want you to use that because it was hard to remember the username and password since you didn't create it. And there were some features that were harder to use, like getting our work to share because of the privacy settings. So we want to create a username that does not use our real name. So I'm going to take a moment now to come up with my username and password. Okay, so I took a moment to just create my username and create my password. And when you are creating your username, you are only allowed to use letters, numbers, the underscore, and the hyphen. If you try to use any of the other special keys like the asterisk or the parentheses, it tells you that you can't use these keys in your username or password. So in your username, if I type in exclamation point and then I click away, it gives me an error message. So it says usernames can only use letters, numbers, and the hyphen and underscore. So I'm going to make sure that my username only has the appropriate keys. I created my password and then I wrote it down on a piece of paper, and I'm not going to share my password with anybody. I'm going to save this little piece of paper. I'm going to make sure I don't lose it, and I'm going to keep it in a nice safe place. So I'm not going to click show password, but if you click on the show password, it will reveal the little dotted keys you've typed in. So you can make sure that your password, you confirmed it. You want to make sure that you typed it in twice the exact same way and that you wrote it down the exact same way that you typed it in. And then you're going to click on next. So depending on what browser you're using, it might ask you if you wanted to automatically say your username and password. I'm going to do that just because it's going to make it easier for me to log it in, and it's also because I'm on my Chromebook, it's going to save it in my Keychain Access. So if you have a Chromebook, you do not have this program, Keychain Access, but if you are on a Mac, you do, and it saves all of your passwords and makes it so that you can open it up and look at them and check on your usernames and passwords. So we're still working on completing our account, and it's going to ask you what country you live in. So we're going to click United States of America, and we're going to click next. It's going to ask you when you were born, and you need to actually put in the right thing, because if you forget your username or your password and you need to use your email address to retrieve it, most things ask you basic question like this to confirm you are who you say you are, trying to unlock your account. So I'm going to click in my birthday. I'm going to click next, and it's going to ask you this. Even though they say they're going to keep this information private, I really don't trust anything, and if it's going to give you the option prefer not to say, I'm just going to click that. I'm going to keep going. It's going to ask you for your email address, and you want to put in an email address that you have access to, that you can log into, because you're going to need to be able to go to your email to click on the link to confirm that this is your email and you want to make this Scratch account. So I'm going to use an email address that's my personal email address. And I'm going to not click this because I do not want to get lots of emails. And I'm going to click create your account. And it's going to load. All right, so I've gotten this error message that says, oops, something went wrong. Scratch could not create your account. Click start over. So I'm gonna have to start over. So let's see. Let's try to do this quickly. Username is taken. That might be why. Let's try adding something else. My other dog's name is Smokey. All right, we're not getting an error message, so let's try this one. I don't want you to see my password, so I'm gonna unclick this while I type so you do not see my password. All right, let's click next. Passwords don't match. That's a problem. Let's try it again. Okay, let's click next. Try and go through this quickly because I already reviewed this with you. All right, and I'm gonna click prefer not to say. I'm gonna type in my email address. Click create. And hope we don't get an error message. All this, so we're just gonna click get started.